Hello, our loves. We wanted to get onto YouTube today. We do these every morning. We kind of like powwow about life with our other self, with our twin flames, and we ponder on how to keep balancing. And sometimes when we have these deep talks, we're like, okay, let's stop talking and let's just like hit record because I'm sure our viewers are going to get some insights in this. And me and Elizabeth always level up after we have our deep talks, but why not record it so that you can all level up with us? And so
Yes.
get this. So this is the talk that we're having today. I was just telling Elizabeth how when you are consumed or used to be consumed with addictive energy, your energy was just like all on them, right? It's just pure obsessiveness, addictive energy. It won't stop, won't stop. It just can't stop. It's like beyond you. It just keeps going. It doesn't know how to stop because it doesn't even know how it got there. And so there's all this energy that just gets gucked out. And both of us in a relating experience with our twin flames, we have to balance that crap that comes out of us that we know isn't us, right? We're at this place where we can now permanently keep them without pushing and pulling. But at the same time, when we're watching this energy, it's hard to not get lost in it, even though we already know what it is. We know it's not us. We know we're soul. We know that the addictive energy is just being activated by mind. And when it comes about, it's hard to release it. And I realized, and you can add on what you think, love, with Cup of Joe, all these addictive energy that used to go to them is now going into my soul purpose. And so this energy of soul, it like consumes the addictive energy to where I'm no longer pushing. I'm inspired and I'm working on that inspiration every day. Naturally, I'm not as pushy, and naturally they're coming at me with all this attention and energy when focused on soul. I'm focused on soul stuff, which is the stuff that I freaking love creating and allowing myself to not get in mind and allow myself to create through however ways I can release, right? So it's two different nights and I want you guys to see the difference. And it's interesting how it plays out. So the night before, here's the addictive person activated within me. I wanted a lot of touch. That's my love language. And this is why you guys are here. We're going to share how love language works in the twin flame journey. Anyway, I'm touch and time. So that's just how I operate. And my person has been working in the office now. And so I'm not getting my touch needs and my time needs met. It's been crap for the addictive energy because I'm not getting my left bucket filled. And so this was 2 nights ago. I was really needy with touch, like so needy. And I was just like, I need my touch. I need my time. I need my touch. I need my time. And I kept thinking and like activating that. And I could see he doesn't want to be near me at all. He didn't even want to be in the bed. He didn't. I don't even want us to sleep yet. I just want to lay there. I told you there's no touch. I just want to lay there and like be with him and do nothing. And he didn't even want to go to sleep yet. And this is somebody who should be tired and sleeping, and he's not, and he doesn't want to go to bed. And so I'm in the bed just waiting for my touch that like almost never arrived. And then so I was like, interesting. Like why when I want it, I don't have it. And we'll talk deep into that together because I want to figure that out. And so this was last night. I'm busy. I'm on my phone. I do most of my stuff on my phone, FYI. My loves, like the creation happens in my ability to be able to do and create. I was on my phone and I could take over the world with my phone. I was on my phone.
Yes, you
And
can.
I was on my phone and he was all up on me. I was on my phone creating because remember, I told you guys when I'm in soul vibration, I'm in my soul's purpose. I'm doing what I love. And I was editing. I can do anything in my bed. And anyway, he was all up on me. And I was like, I don't want touch right now. I'm busy. I'm creating. And then it like came to me. It was like, when you don't want it is when you can have it.
Yes.
When you want it, you're going to push it away, which is exact energy. It was like 2 different nights, 2 different energies. And I was like, how crappy is that? Where when we get it is when we don't want it. And at that point, I don't even want it anymore because I'm busy, right? How's that fair? Tell me how that's fair, love.
It's not. And but it is just the nature of this connection. It's to teach you that you don't need anything. And when you need it, it's not going to be available to you because you don't need anything. So so we started talking about, love languages. I just wrote the blog on how love languages through soul. You could check it out, but I was trying to apply it towards myself. And this is where our conversation got started, was like, I am touch. And my person is, okay, so everyone has their own way to give love and to receive it. So this is what Joanne and I what we were trying to figure out this morning was when we are giving it and the other person we'll just backtrack. Okay. So I like to receive love through touch and through quality time, just like Joanne. And my person, and then I like to give love through acts of kindness and through gifts. Those are how I give love. Yes. And so my person, he's always told me that if he had to think about it, his receiving would be quality time also, as well as touch. But how he gives it is also through gifts. So this makes it a little bit weird. So when I need my love bucket filled, I want touch. And and so naturally I'll go and I'll put my arm around him in bed and I'll lay down next to him. But he doesn't give love that way. He gives love through gifts. So he doesn't necessarily think, oh, I need to go and cuddle her, because that's not how he shows love. So I get all confused and like, I know touch is his love language, so why isn't he touching me back? No, he's okay with me touching him, but he doesn't naturally think I need to go and I need to hold and hug her, because that's just not how he gives it. So it just sort of trips us out a little bit when we need our love bucket filled. I mean, he absolutely comes to me and he'll say like quality time, like let's spend quality time. But that's when he wants quality time. It's not for me. When we do stuff with our love bucket, we're doing it almost for ourselves. You see what I'm saying? Like I wanted to be touched, so therefore I was touching. That wasn't what he needed. That's not what he wanted. I wasn't giving him love. I was asking for it. I was asking for my love bucket to be filled, basically.
But they're not going to give it to us the way we mind wants that bucket to be filled, because they can give it the way they want to. And here's a weird part too. So like my person's love language is words of affirmation. And I could give 2 crap about words of affirmation. So we just spend all day freaking talking and talking and talking. Well, all I want is your time and touch. And it's like, stop freaking talking. Let's just hang out. Let's just be together. And that's the thing, is what I'm trying to figure out is when we want our bucket to be filled, I know some type of addictive energy is coming out. I just know it because he's nowhere around. He doesn't want to be near me. And not only that, when I am in another element where I don't need those love language to be filled, he's all over me. So like there's some type of
dynamic. Soul has filled it. Because soul has filled it. Soul has filled your love bucket when you're inspired. That's what it is, right? Soul filled it. And so because it's full, they don't feel the need to fill. They don't want to be the person who has to fill your bucket. They don't. They want you to have it filled through soul, and then they can come and be because it's already full.
And so the answer to this whole thing is soul. You fill it with soul, and naturally they come. They'll give you what you want. But at that point, I don't need the touch. I don't need the time because I'm busy filling it with soul. If you think about it, when you're filling it with soul, you don't need anybody. You don't need them even. They're just right there next to you. And that's the freaking paradox. The paradox is,
think about it like this.
What you're seeking is what you already have. Go ahead, Leslie.
Okay, so soul's filled your bucket, right? Think about it this way, because they can't get soul. So look at your bucket. Soul's filled it. Soul's filled it so much it's freaking flowing over, right? There's no room for anything more from them. That's when they can get soul, because it's filled over from you. It's spilling out, and suddenly that's when they want to come. They want to put their arms around you because they're getting that soul. They don't even know what they're getting, but they're getting that runneth over of the soul that is spilling out of your love bucket. It's just naturally there. And that's what they're coming for. Yeah. So it's not that they're coming because they want to be around you. They are coming because they want that soul that's coming out. They want that
soul energy coming out. Yes. It's nothing like we can imagine, right? It's not what we want. It's not what we anticipate, but they are still coming to us in the way that our soul wants them to be, because they're enjoying that moment with you the way you want them to enjoy it with you, but you don't want it anymore. You don't want it anymore, and you don't need it. It's extra. It's always extra. It's just the opposite of like, right? When you want, you can't have. And then when you are full, that's when you get it. And it's like, now you're here. I didn't need you anymore. I'm good. Soul's got me.
I want people to take away from this what we were just talking about, what you were just saying, the paradox of it. But I also want them to take away. You are giving your person your love. It's not that you're really giving it. You're sort of requesting your love bucket to be filled. If you're a touch and you're going and touching them, you're hoping, and that's the whole thing. Like, we're hoping for it to come back to us. It's not because we're trying to be like, ooh, I'm showing my love. I'm pure soul right now, and I'm giving them hugs and cuddles. No, it's like, hey, I want your touch. It's for needy purposes.
It's like, not for them. It's for me.
Right.
It's for me,
and that's why you can't get it. Oh. So that's what, like, when you're in soul, you fill their love bucket the way they want it filled, and you're perfectly okay with doing that without any expectations of return. That's the difference. So when we are seeking our love buckets to be filled, it is for us. Like, we keep thinking, like, why aren't they filling our love bucket? Why? That's because it's push. We are expecting. So I really want you guys to think about, when you're asking for your love bucket to be filled, like, really try to feel, what is it that my love bucket needs right now? And then you're going to have to fill it through soul.
Fill it yourself. Yeah.
Fill it through soul. And then you'll have
and
it
when
over
you
to be able to show
it
them.
When you fill it with soul, you're transmuting that needy energy that is very selfish, by the way, right? Like, I'm going to give you my love language for me. It isn't for you. It isn't because if I really wanted to feel his love language, we would just talk until the night is gone.
But you
and
don't
then
want
it's
to
the
do
next
that.
day. No, I don't do that. That's bullshit. Yeah. That's the selfish version of you that wants your bucket filled, which is mind, which is needy energy that's activating out. And that's a really good point, because if I really wanted to show him love, it would be through words. And we spend a lot of time filling his bucket. It's so much time. I make fun of him, and I'm like, all right, listen here, words. I think you're maxed out of words today. Let's go ahead and go into the other buckets that I need filling. But I really make fun of him when I call him words. Or like, he'll drive home. He has almost an hour drive home. He wants to be on the phone the whole time. And like I said, I'm in soul mode. When I'm in soul mode, he wants to talk all day. And I'm just like, just focus on the drive. You're going to be home soon. Elizabeth has this beautiful Story Saturday. You guys are gonna freaking love it. It is on Soul Through History and Literature. My freaking goodness, my loves, when I was listening to it, I went total soul mode. Like I reached some form of Satori and my person blew me up. I know. He blew me up for words of affirmation. And I was so busy. I was like, I'm finishing this video. We can chat later. But that's my point though, is when you have soul, your soul transmutes those addictive energy, and soul purpose, soul's passion bypasses all the addictive energy. Like I would rather release, and I always wondered why I always wanted to run. Like I want to run. It's like I'm running for something, but I'm not running from anything. I'm trying to release addictive energy. And it's the same thing when you're doing the stuff you love, that fuel of like anger, pain, need, expectations, obsessive energy, it gets transmuted through love, soul energy. And that energy vibrates out, and they can't be away. They can't be away. They're like kind of stuck. They're stuck and they have nowhere to go. But be near you in the moment. You don't need them because soul is already filling you. So again, they're extra. This is some good, crazy stuff. It's like mind blowing.
I wanted to point out soul versus need. So for example, like I'm really in the middle, like before I go to bed, that's when my mind is most active and needy because I'm tired. And that's when I sort of want to be held the most, and I'll start getting angry. Why isn't he holding me? Why isn't he holding my hand?
Yeah.
And I have been pulling it in. I've been pulling that energy in, and I just fall asleep, right? I just go to bed. I don't even, because before I would have done something or had a fit or something. No, I pull that energy in. Well, this is the difference between soul. So I'll wake up in the middle of the night, and because I'm rested, I can reach soul, and I will reach over and I'll just hold his hand real quick. And it's not for me, it is for him. There's no expectation that I need it to be held back, or that because before I would just, if I'm still in a place of neediness, I'll roll him over and pull his arm around me, right?
Yeah.
But no, like when I'm in soul, I can reach over, I could put my arm around him real quick, I could squeeze his hand, and then I can go back to sleep.
Yeah, they reciprocate it back. You know what I mean? It's like it's almost like you're unionized. It's like it's more in mind of need, but it's more of like just being with each other.
It's feeling the love. It just you could like you can feel the love back and forth, and there's not the addictive energy. It's just pure soul. Like I can feel the difference. It is so incredible. And that's why it's almost this like comforting. I just squeezed his hand. I showed my love, because that's one of the ways, to show love. I showed my love, and I'm going back to bed. I don't need anything back from him. That's the difference. I don't need him to do it back to me, because I love. Yes, it's through my love.
Freaking beautiful. And that's what they teach us. They do. They teach us that unconditional love that needs nothing back in return.
Yes.
It's simply sharing and receiving love for the sake of sharing and receiving love for what it is. It's soul's love. My freaking goodness. This got really, really deep when I was just venting why I wasn't getting my love language met. And if you think about it, through soul, you naturally are just being fed through soul's love. When you get to that place, the addictive energy gets transmuted, and you're kind of just being in that moment. And that's when we have the deep pillow, like, you say pillow talk. We have the deep pillow talk, and we can do that all day because I got my touch. So that's soul. When we're talking, like it never ends, but I'm getting my touch, and he's giving, and we're both receiving and getting the same love language that we desire, without the addictive energy pushing out.
You just made me realize. So that is the beautiful thing, when you can both get your love buckets filled at the same time. So for us, we watch shows together. He's really into quality time. And that's how he shows love. So I make sure when we're watching Fear the Walking Dead, any of the zombie movies that he's like crazy about, we watch these things and I just lay on him and he has his arm around me and it is like, he's getting the quality time, I'm getting the touch, and it's just us co-creating love together, together, souls merging.
Yeah. Yeah, it is
really
merging.
cool.
It's like becoming one. Yeah. We both have these needs that we have that needs to be met, but they both get naturally attended and like received and given through soul's love. And you're right.
No
like
addictive energy. No addictive energy. This is the difference between being in a place of addictive energy and obsessing.
They're nowhere to be seen. Nowhere. Where are they? I'll go meditate and hug up on me because they're nowhere to be seen. But once you release that and you're being in soul's energy, it puts you in a place where you can both receive your love language. And you're right. Like when we have those long, beautiful pillow talks, like we'll talk about like his childhood. I'll talk about my childhood. We're laughing and we're cracking up and it's like 4:00 in the morning. It's like, dang it, when are we going to go to sleep? And I'm getting all the touch I can get. He's getting all the words he can get. And it's just pure soul. That's the soul merging right there. Oh,
good stuff.
I love it. We love you guys. Let us know if you need anything. Check out Elizabeth's blog. Oh my gosh, you guys have to check out her Satori, I call it Satori reading Saturday for her soul literature, but it put me in Satori. It literally put me in Satori. We love you guys. Have an amazing day. Love you.
Bye.